Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy and Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day 2/21, 2024. You know, as the week's progressing, so is this list, and it's been getting better and better in the sense of these reads are getting awesome. People have been complaining in the past that some of these books are not appreciating in value, and then they complain when they appreciate value and they don't get the book because then they complain it's FOMO. What I've been liking is the fact that these books have been getting better and better as reads in general, which have been driving these prices up in some regards for some of these books. My opinion, it's a direct reflection of how well these books have been written. To get to it in a moment, I will demonstrate in the list that I give you of my own particular list that I'll be saying that I'll be looking forward to read, but you'll also notice that some of these books are really going up in price just because they're that well written. Prior in which I get to this list, I want to acknowledge the people that decide to cruise on by and visit me, especially that which in the live. Mike, I appreciate you being here. Christina, same to you, and throwing out the message to everyone to hang out with me on the live. Appreciate you dancing with me all night long. Hey, and Christina, Mike, without you guys, it wouldn't be any fun doing this thing on the live. It would just be more of a rewind type thing, and I appreciate those that cruise by and do that too. If you do enjoy this video, and I hope that you do, just hit a little like thing and maybe possibly subscribe, because if you come back, I do the same thing all over again next week. I swear to God, I do. Yo, Clip, appreciate you being here, and Jakes, you too. How about we get into this list? Starting off, we're going to go ahead and over to the K-M.A.R.T Presents Ronin book. Well, this is the volume 2, but issue number 6 of 6. If you're a fan of the original series, I think that you'll appreciate how well he launched that series and written this. This is actually a pretty well-written continuation of that story, but it does stand alone. I personally only read this series prior in which that I had to go read the prior series. See how I did that backwards? But I still enjoyed this as I was doing that, because it does, as I made mention, kind of stand alone on its own merit. It's really well written, and it was one of the first things to be written under the K-M.A.R.T Presents title. I gotta slow down. Dallas Christmas, appreciate you being here. Look how many people beat you, dude. Slipped in. Just messing with you, man. Appreciate you as always. All right, hey, let's move out from the K-M.A.R.T Presents Book of Ronin, 6 of 6, finishing out that storyline. Volume 2, and let's move over to the Dark Horse place. Dark Horse Presents Space Usagi, issue 3 of 3. This is a story once told, retold, over in the Dark Horse area, but giving us the art in which that I think we all love, appreciated, and missed from the original series. This is beautifully told with just exquisite art, and I swear that this writer, this Stan Sakai, this gem of gems, this individual that seems to be just kind of like ripening like fine wine, tends to be getting better as he gets older. I'm just saying. So even though we're getting a story that was once writ, we're getting it done in a considerably better way. And he's also been giving us new stories and titles along with the old ones being republished. Just awesome. If you're a Soggy lover like me, then you're digging it. I'm just saying. All right. Let's get out from the Dark Horse area and let's move over to Boom Studios, who are giving us Animal Pound 2 of 4. And this is another satirical type tale of how we view not only our political and social how should I say, status, cultures, and all that, but we're also getting a way of being able to have a reflection in which that we even treat our own animals. Never thought of this story being told from an animal point of view. I hit the ash can and it blew my mind. I hit issue number 1, was essentially the same thing, and it still did same emotion, same evoke of type of drama and just the levity, you know, I mean, that was also sprinkled in there on a moments that seemed so heavy and with so much gravity. It brings moments very poignant, and it just, I mean, yes, there's only a couple jokes throughout the whole story, but it just, god damn, I mean, the overall heaviness and drama of what's going on and the way it's being told, again, from this animal point of view, really brings a new way of telling an old story that just hits home. Really does. So Animal Pound is really high on my most anticipated reads. Moving out from there, let's talk over at the IDW side. Why? Because TMNT has given us a source book, issue number 1. You know, when I originally read this, I thought it was supposed to be a 4-part mini. And as I go down the months, I've been already down 3 months. I'm not seeing it released yet. It's for issue number 2. So either they're going to be really slow and release these things, and we're going to get 4 issues over the course of the next 12 months, which is going to be a little bit painful. Or they're going to give us all these things into one. I doubt it. I think this is going to be kind of painful. However, that being stated, I am so looking forward to this TMNT source book issue number 1. This is going to give you stories of where everybody's at during the duration of the time of almost the whole like storyline of the timeline of the turtles for each turtle, if I'm understanding all this correct. So it sounds really cool to me, and that's why I jumped on this. I'm like, oh, absolutely. I want to know who, when, and where, and why, what they're doing when. If you followed that, explain it to me in the comments below. I want to know. Moving on from IDW, we're going to cruise over to Marvel. This is a list. Marvel first starting off is going to give us Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 1. They're going to give us a gamut of just, oh my God, everything. So if you really want like a whole list of covers, I ain't going to give it to you. But I will say this. Depending on what you're into, you can almost get any cover you want. The only thing I didn't see was like a blank cover, which is probably there, and like a negative space thing. But everything else seemed like to be coming. Their homages, the da-da-da-da. That being stated, there's also even a one per store. Things going through the damn rough. I got 2. Crazy. Edge of Spider-Verse seems to be one of these perennial type things. Marvel's decided to go ahead and do this every year. The idea behind it is they're going to go throw as many spiders at the wall and see what sticks. So I just get used to the idea that that's what's happening, and the stories in them and of themselves are rather good. I particularly enjoyed it. I haven't really talked to anyone that hasn't. Check around on a couple other channels. I actually recommend that, and you'll actually see the same thing. It's hard to really find a negative review on this book, even though people are not liking the idea that we keep getting these Edge of Spider-Verse books. It is what it is, and I'm loving it. Moving out from there, we're going to talk about Incredible Hulk issue number 9. This story is awesome. I mean, you know, it's interesting to me that a lot of people are not talking about it, but the ones that are just saying nothing but good things. That's why I'm so looking forward to this book. This book is just this Ghost Rider Venom, in my opinion. There's been a couple of them that are just solid. These stories are solid. Actually, and another one thing I'm going to be coming up to really soon. There's a consistency there that's well appreciated, not only by myself, but I'm finding by many readers out there. And that's why on the study, many of us are getting these things on the regular pull. It's just been beautiful because I think this is what many of us want. As the examples I'm giving down, again, Incredible Hulk issue number 9 is just one of those steady, incredible series that have been just working out really well for the reader, like myself. Moving out from the Incredible Hulk, issue number 9, highly recommend. We're going to cruise over to Century issue number 3. You know, ever since Century got ripped apart long ago, what was that, over a year ago by Null, bits and pieces kind of flew everywhere. We had no idea what the hell happened. It wasn't until well after the whole King of Black thing kind of settled and a couple other aspects happened that we end up seeing. Now we get pieces that land in the other individuals. This one guy decided to go ahead and decide he's going to be the Century of the Centuries. Is an asshole. Someone that needs to take him out. But it's been awesome. This read has been really cool. It's been developing as a standalone story. You really don't have to know what's going on in the past. You just got to know that things happened that led to what you're reading. And as long as you can enjoy and be in the moment of what you're reading, Century has been a great read. So issue number 3 is really high anticipated on my list. Really, it's like handful within a distance. Moving out from there. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to talk over at the Spider-Boy, issue number 4. This is what I was talking about a solid read. There's no one that I'm talking to about right now that isn't digging who's reading Spider-Boy. Those in which have decided to give this little kid a chance, Bailey Briggs is winning them over. I'm finding that everyone who initially had a bad, bitter taste about this new character is really starting to warm up to this little kid. And he's doing, in my opinion, the story justice. Slott has been really just nailing it with this character, winning everybody over. What is beautiful about the story is it doesn't take itself too seriously in the sense of it knows it's kind of tongue-in-cheekish, and it's playing on some of the parodies that he used to in the past. What I mean in the past is kind of 70s, kind of cheesy stuff. But at the same point, it's taken itself enough to the understanding that the readers want a serious character and someone that they can stand behind is an ongoing character. Someone that's not too stupid, but actually someone that's kind of slapsticky enough to enjoy. This character, I believe, embraces enough of the slapstick enough and the serious enough. And there's a lot of gravity to this character that we all feel a lot of heart for. So again, to me, Bailey won me over from day one, and it was obvious that he has done since, if you ever watch my show, it's just how well written this kid is, and the fact that he's just put in these situations and all he still wants to do is right when he himself is just trying to find his own place in life is really cool. It is really, really cool. But moving on for Spider-Boy, issue number 4, let's talk about Marvel Superhero Secret Wars Battle World issue number 4. That. But I believe this is actually the final issue to the series, and it's more of a support thing and a warm-up thing and fill in the gap thing. And along with that, it gives us a writer that we haven't seen write something like this in so long that I think it was more of a nostalgic thing for most of us. The beauty is it does actually fill in some gaps. It does tell us nothing too important, but fun enough to where it's been enticing for me to go ahead and buy the whole series all over again. So I've been getting all these facsimiles, and I've been loving the fact that I can get into these and not have to worry about them like the older ones. Mind you, the older ones are still cheap, but I don't know. I open those things up for the smell, open these things up for the read. As weird as I am, you know what I mean. Moving on from the Marvel Superhero Secret Wars Battle World, issue number 4, we're going to talk about Spider-Woman, issue number 4. It's been all about force between the Spider-Boy, Spider-Woman, and Secret Wars. Hey, I'm not having any issues other than the issues that I'm reading on the comics. So Spider-Woman issue number 4 has really been an enjoyable read. It was one of those books that I didn't want to actually pick up. Spider-Woman and Spider-Gwen were one of the ones that I was trying to shed off my list, but every time I do, they just reel me back in. I love strong women characters. I love characters in which that don't play the stereotypical trope of save me, that stuff just gives me heebie-jeebies and chills up my spine. But when I see in the character in which that ends up saving the day, regardless if it's male or female, and it turns out to be a character in which it is stronger than more other characters, and then it does turn out to be a female, well, hey, you know what? It's pretty damn well written, I guess, in my opinion. The fact that you don't have to play into the stereotypical tropes or actually over sexualize a character and still make it well written is what I'm looking for. Seriously. I'm just saying. Spider-Woman issue number 4. I think we only got one more issue into the series. I think maybe 2. And I've been looking forward to each successive book from issue number 1. I didn't want to pick it up, and I was just flipping through the store. Next thing you know, I'm buying it, and then I'm putting 2 on the pull list, and then I'm pre-ordering 3. So you see where I'm at with 4. Moving on for Spider-Woman, we're going to talk about Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 2. This almost made my most anticipated read. Not close, but can you? It did. I'm still like it. The reasoning will make itself, it'll explain it. So anyways, what I'm getting at is this. Ultimate Spider-Man, or aside from the actual specky thing, has been a solid read. Issue number 2, that is what little I've seen, seems like it's taken off where issue number 1 left, and it's doing itself justice as an overall read. Black Panther as an ultimate, X-Men coming up. I think this is the ultimate universe a lot of people were hoping for in the last one, whereas it kind of petered out. Now, this was starting, I'm hoping it continues and be its own solid thing. It's kind of neat that we end up seeing Peter have a choice in this, and we don't have to see a death of someone come about it for him to do the right things. Unique as a story as it is, and strong as a writer as Hickman is, we're actually seeing a story I think we all can get behind and believe. And that's why Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 2 is really high on my most anticipated reads. But moving out from there, dude, I appreciate you hanging out with me. We're going to talk about Image. Now, the Image has been getting stronger as far as a company is concerned. They're about to celebrate another monumental thing coming up pretty soon with, anyways, there are books that are coming out. There are books that are paying homage to books that already came out, and Image as a whole has just been getting stronger as a publisher. These people have been getting better and better, in my opinion, and they're coming out with stronger universes that have been able to support by even better and better writers, and it's been actually good reads. Point meaning. Cobra Commander issue number 2 comes out tomorrow, and it's one of my most anticipated reads. This universe has been supported by so many good titles that it's been hard to say which one of the titles has been my best reads supporting this whole universe. And again, as I made mention, we got the Void Rivals, G.I. Joe, Transformers. I mean, all this is great. Along with the other universes been coming out, we had Miller coming out with its universe. That's it was a 5-issue mini that brought together all of his characters. We also have what is that? The universe with the red, pink. Come on, people, you're out there with all that. I'm getting a bunch of this stuff signed with all the superheroes, and they end up with Alien. My brain just went away, but. The beauty is Image has been giving us universes on universes on universes, and they've been getting better and better and better. So Cobra Commander issue number 2 is really high on my anticipated reads because this is supporting a universe that I've been anticipating coming out because of it's bringing about all the nostalgic reads that I used to love and read as a kid. Well, older kid. But, I'm digging it. And I think I went a little overboard on issue number 1 in Cobra Commander. Out of the reads, I think it's one of the least bought and least printed of this whole universe. And it was probably one of the most that I bought of. But I've been digging it. Yeah, the way it started out, and if you think about it, they gave more little tidbits of Cobra Commander than they did of any other book leading up to this universe. And it's just been awesome. But moving out from there, hey, you know where we're going? We're going to that's right, Blue Light Special. And this week's Blue Light Special is Firepower issue number 30. Firepower issue number 30 is the final issue. And it's kind of bittersweet. I didn't want this to end, but I kind of did. This is a book that was really fascinating for an individual that once practiced martial arts pretty heavily and really loves all that fantasy style. It really tied in a lot of adventure and some philosophical things that really are true and some fabled stuff that actually he worked in as far as writing. Kirkman did something that he doesn't. It seems like he's leaning towards more action and getting less articulate in his story writing. It seems like he's being able to demonstrate how he's able to tell a story through the art more than he has to by just giving us a blow by blow of every single movement that's going on by every single person and what they're thinking. It's been really enjoyable to see this adventure and how he brought in all these aspects that made this book what it is. What I'm saying is Sam Nee is his artist. The way he writes this, as far as omitting so much of the normal literature that he puts into his books, and allowing these characters such individual identities, that it was really enjoyable to see as individual characters in the storyline, due to the fact that you saw so much personality in these characters into these stories. So I mean, yeah, issue number 30 is a high anticipated read, but I say, as much as I anticipate it, it just kind of bums me out that it's here. But hey, I appreciate everyone being here, and that's it for me. Entropy. Stay well.